Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about some of the more advanced parts of fire alarm systems, and that specifically is going to be exhaust and pressurization smoke relief fans. I'm going to talk about what their purpose is, how they work, and towards the end of the video I'm also going to do a demonstration on these massive fans actually operating. The building I'm going to be using in this video to talk about and use as the demonstration building. This is going to be my own school, mostly as it's easy for me to get clips and I'm very familiar with the system in my school, so that's what we're going to be using today. The purpose of these fans are to ensure that people can safely evacuate a building without having to walk through toxic and potentially deadly smoke. There's much more to them than just a fan that comes on. There are multiple parts of this system and different time delays for these to work properly. So let's talk about what those are. One of the main components is the exhaust fan itself. In this case, we are looking at a 600 volt motor powering a very large fan, and if you look at the sticker on it, you can see the airflow and that points out. So these fans are what's responsible for giving that building that negative pressure to force the smoke, which is in the air, up to this point in the building to remove it from the building. In order to aid that air making its way to the exhaust fans, you have these fans, which are pressurization fans. They're different than smoke exhaust fans, as they're not sucking air out of the building, but in fact forcing air into the building to help aid that air get to that area. These will often be installed in the specific spaces that you're trying to get the smoke out of and force it into a corridor or a larger open area. We will talk about that more and how this is implemented in this specific building. Along with pressurization fans, you will also have what are called make-up air doors. These doors will automatically open in the event of the alarm that is responsible for triggering this whole smoke exhaust system. And these doors will open up to also help aid air getting into the building in order for those exhaust fans to have air to move. Let's take a look at my school building to see how the system exactly operates in this building and what its purposes are. You will notice that we have this atrium right here. This is a 3-floor open section of the school. And this is where we have, if you go up to level 3, you can see we have smoke exhaust fans on the roof. We have 2 of those smoke exhaust fans. Now the reason we have those is that this is a 3-floor section of the school that is open from floor to floor. If you have a fire that's creating smoke on one floor, there's nothing to stop that smoke from spreading throughout the building. Along with that, we have a stairwell. Usually with your fire exits and stairwells, those stairwells are required to have self-closing doors on them, self-closing and self-latching to be a fire partition, and if there's glass panels on those doors, they have what is called a sprinkler curtain, where there are sprinkler heads up to the glass to shelter that glass from the heat of the fire. So here's an example of a normal standard stairwell. This stairwell is 3 floors. It goes to each floor of the school, and each floor has exits from the hallway, from the corridor, into this stairwell, and then there's an exit at the bottom out to the outside. As you see, the doors here, they have door closers on them and panic hardware, so they're self-closing and self-latching. But what if you have a stairwell that doesn't have doors on it? Here's one of the stairwells in my school that is not sealed off from the hallway with doors. As you saw, it's completely open. This is one of 2 stairwells in the school that is open. As you see, here is where we have a pressurization fan at the top. The idea with this fan is if there is a smoke emergency in this building, this fan will come on and create positive pressure in this stairwell to force the air out of the stairwell. Looking at this from the level 1, this was the stairwell that we were just looking at. If you go up to level 2, here you can see that stairwell again. Go over to level 3, you can see this is where you have this pressurization fan, supply fan 5. So that comes on, forces the air out of that stairwell down to the first floor. As you see, there's that stairwell. Right here you have one of those make-up air doors. Then what? So it's not going to go through that door, the smoke, because there is negative pressure inside the school. Air is getting pulled in through those doors, forcing that down this corridor. Oh, what's that right there? There you have another open stairwell. Let's take a look at that. We are now standing on one of the third floor bridges in this atrium, looking across to the main stairwell. As you can see, this is a completely open to all 3 floors stairwell. Right here, we have no pressurization fans, so where does the air come from? We'll go back to our map here. So, this was our first stairwell that we looked at. We have a makeup air door right there. Here's our main stairwell in this atrium. As you can see, at the front door, we have more makeup air doors. That will allow that air to be pulled in into this atrium, where then it can be sucked through the third floor rooftop fire exhaust fans. Let's take a look at those. Here are those fans mounted on the roof, basically on the 4th floor. These are in their own room, and as you can see, they're at the top of this atrium. Now, from in the school, all you can see is the grill, but behind them is some massive, powerful fans. Here we are looking at them from the other side of the atrium. As you can see, there are 2 of these units on the roof that will provide negative pressure to the building to pull that air up and out of this atrium and prevent smoke from affecting people's evacuations trying to evacuate using that main stairwell. Here we're in one of those 4th floor fan rooms. These fans are big. There are 2 fans in each room, and we have 2 rooms, so we have 4 total of these fans. These run off 3-phase 600-volt motors, and they are powerful. They are loud, and they pull a lot of air into this building quickly. Here's a look at these fan rooms from the outside. Here's another still image of one of these fans. As I said, these fans pull the air out of the building. These are the negative pressure fans to pull that smoke up to the top and out. Here you can see at the top left of the screen where one of those exhaust fan rooms is located. We are standing on basically the half floor. We're halfway up to the 1st floor. You can see how little there is to stop any smoke from spreading to the stairwell and how essential those fans are and how quickly this could become a very hard to see situation if you had smoke in that stairwell. There's another look at those fans. Here we are on the 3rd floor looking down. Those fans are just over my head. Another look from the other side looking at the stairwell from in the atrium, and you can see those fans again at the top. Here's looking down the 2nd floor corridor going into that main stairwell, where you can see there is also no fire separation from the stairwell into the corridor. At the end of that hallway at the right is that other stairwell where we have the pressurization fan that we talked about at the beginning. You can see here on the 3rd floor level is the exact same situation with the stairwell not being separated from this corridor in any way or even the floor below us. We've been mostly focusing on this fan right here. This one that is directly above this main stairwell, which is mainly responsible for doing that stairwell and those corridors around that area. However, we also have them down here at this end. I have a clip of looking at them from walking down this hallway out of these fire doors, and you can take a look at them in the atrium right there. Let's talk about why we've got these smoke exhaust fans in this room towards this end of the atrium. Now, as much as it would certainly help aid with pulling smoke out of this area of the school that we talked about earlier with this open stairwell and the large main big open stairwell, of course it would increase the overall power of the smoke exhaust system, but it's mainly down at this end to prevent smoke from the 1st floor getting up to this 3rd floor bridge right here. Without those smoke exhaust fans, this 3rd floor bridge right here could become very dangerous as it's towards the top of a 60-foot high ceiling, so any smoke is going to want to sit at the top of this ceiling, and it has to stay clear of smoke for this 3rd floor level, because anybody needing to cross this bridge to get into this section or into this section should be able to safely do that without smoke through this bridge, because this bridge has nothing to stop it from letting smoke into that bridge. There are fire doors here, but there's nothing there. And of course, even if you did have doors there, that's not going to help with keeping this bridge clear of smoke. So that's why we got this fan down at this end. But the fan can't do much unless there's an opening for air to get in. Otherwise, you just end up with a big vacuum and negative pressure on the building. That won't actually let smoke out unless there's a way for fresh air to get in. Let's come down from the 3rd floor level, come back down to the 1st floor. Right here is where we would have that bridge on the 3rd floor right above us. These zones right here, there's actually nothing preventing any smoke or travel of fire from these zones. There's no fire doors right here or there. That is what I was talking about smoke from the 1st floor being able to make it right up above. That's why right here, this is where we have the pressurization fan to give those rooftop fans, give them a source of air to pull through. We essentially have the same thing on this side of the building as we do on the other side. It's maybe on the 3rd floor on the other side and the 1st floor on this side for pressurization fans, but it's the same function. That stairwell right there, we have the pressurization fan to push air out of that stairwell, and as well of the makeup doors on both sides. But for this side, this is where we have another pressurization fan, and as we have fire doors right there, there's nowhere for that air to go other than to go this way and get pulled up through that 3rd floor smoke exhaust fan. At the start of the video, I showed you what the pressurization fan looked like at the top of this stairwell. That was that one that was sitting near the roof, and it was an exposed fan. In this end, it's a little different in this hallway. As you can see, we have the pressurization fan right here. This is actually mounted in an outside soffit, where the soffit on this part of the school is more like a grate that can just let air through. There is also grate in the T-bar drop ceiling in this hallway, where that pressurized air is meant to enter the hallway. And here it is. This is that spot in the T-bar ceiling where that pressurized air enters the hallway. And man, if you're walking under it in the hallway when this is on, you can really feel it. It blows a significant amount of air into this hallway. That is pretty much all there is to go over about the smoke and exhaust fan system. However, there are some more interesting fire separations that this building has that we can go over until we show the actual demonstration of these fire exhaust systems operating. There's a few fire shutters in this building that I want to show. Here's a look at one of them where you have the 3rd floor level where it stops early before the exterior wall, and it allows for a little platform for you to overlook the 2nd floor. As you can see, there's a railing here where you can see down to the 2nd floor. That's why we have this fire curtain, because otherwise there would be nothing to stop the smoke or fire from spreading from that 2nd floor up to the 3rd floor level. As you can see, there's a curtain here in the middle that will drop down on the event of a smoke alarm activating in this building. As you can see, there's a smoke detector to the left and to the right on either side of this fire curtain, so if either of those activate, this will initiate this whole system. This is also part of the exhaust fan system. That will not activate on any alarm like sprinkler, flow, or pull station. It has to be one of the smoke detectors that's responsible for setting off this part of the system. Not all of them are. Only some of the smoke detectors in crucial parts of the building will activate the smoke exhaust fans and the fire shutters. Same with fire doors. Those don't close on any alarm. It has to be certain smokes. Here I'm going to manually drop the fire shutter with a key so I can show you what happens if one of those specific smokes activates. This will also close upon power failure before the generator has a chance to come on. This thing will already drop. I hope I explained all of this well enough for you guys to understand. Let's actually take a look at what actually happens when you set this off with a smoke detector. We're going to begin fire exhaust fans up there, the smoke relief fans. So I'm going to set up a camera on a mount and set off one of the smoke detectors that turns on those fans. Up on the 3rd floor, and those fans are up there, so we gotta head onto the rooftop. Okay, I've got this camera set up here to watch the fans. Hopefully it won't come off. So I'm gonna set that one off there, and I'm gonna go down and watch the doors open. Let me know when you get your lights, and I'll look at the door.
There goes the light. Coming.
There the doors go. They gotta wait for the doors to open. They'll come on. There they go. I'm gonna go look at that pressurization in the stairs. This guy is running up there, pressurization fan. right here is another pressurization fan. You out here? So this is where it's pulling it in from, right? This is where it's pulling the air in?
Through that vent.
All right. We can turn the bells off now, probably, eh?
Probably, just put signal silent.
Don't reset either.
Don't.
So front doors opened up to bring fresh air in from the outside. Atrium and walkway. You want to signal silence? Might want us to. Oh, is that it? Nope. There we go.
Very good. Okay.
So fans are still running. See, both our fans here on the on position.
Beautiful.
This back door also opens up here to bring outside air in. That's our pressurization fan up there. I'm gonna shut off these fans now by resetting the system. I think we'll shut them off.
Time delay.
Time delay? Okay, we'll just let it
You
wait.
let it,
then.
I think, to,
All right.
to cool down.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
We'll give it a few minutes then wait for
Yeah, I would. All right.
time delay, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can hear those louvers closing back again.
That's exactly.
That's screeching probably.
That's exactly.
Big 600 volt 3-phase fans. That's the room my phone's in. Hopefully it didn't get sucked outside. Alright, please be there, phone. I don't see shredded plastic on the floor, so I think we're good. Man, those fans have a great startup sound. Hello, fans. You do not want to be in this room when they come on. Alright, well, that has those fans. Shut off lights, everything worked just as it's supposed to. That's one of the most crucial parts of the fire protection system this building has, is to get some... That's nice. Is to get smoke out of that atrium because it's open concept, all 3 floors, all hallway. Well guys, that's going to do it for this video of testing these fans. This was a video that I enjoyed putting together. It took a long time to make as I got clips whenever I could from being in the school and just doing general work around the building. I was constantly trying to get clips because I had in mind what I needed for this video. And it was just finally that I was able to actually show these big fans working, so I thought that was pretty cool to do, and I thought that was pretty cool to leave a phone in there, because you can't have your body in there unless you want to potentially come out kind of like a smoothie in a blender. But that's going to do it for this video, so if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, make sure to leave those down in the comments section down below. Thanks for watching.